Welcome back to Harrowings on the Streets 2. And we are in the passing show mode. In fact, in the National Gallery of Art, about to hit the road, head for home, exclusively an hour and 3 minutes out. I've got a little battery attached because we are low on power. We are high on art. Leonardo da Vinci's Ginevra da Vinci, we just happened to look at in passing. The passing show is going to be moving at pretty good speed because I need to be back by noon Eastern time. Be getting together with Sunny Triple at noon. Extraordinary works of art here, collected together over the years. There's the one Da Vinci we have in DC, and I'm going to go loop around by it because it's empty right now. That's so nice. Lorenzo de Medici. Yeah, that is just an extraordinary piece, isn't it? Looks like it got a private account joined. That goes Tenon, Gregory Luce, Marisol Muniz Kina joined. So that is the one Da Vinci in America. Back around and out. Past a lovely Tiepolo. This work by Anton Raphael Mengs, The Adoration of Shepherds. We keep on moving as we're heading out the door. After a little bit of a stay, the main idea was to walk here to get its steps in for the day. A nice little mashup over here, back and forth. Rosie Titian and Cezanne. Over there. Extraordinary things, really. And I just don't have time to slow down. Old Greco's Loaquan. An image of St. John of the Cross. And ding, we are going down. Nice old elevator to the ground floor. 7th Street exit. Heading back via Manship. Missing a sculpture. That's all right. Happens. Fix it. Squeezing out. Okay. I don't have a lot of time, so I'm trying to make my way as rapidly as possible back home. Plant healthy. The animal that carries me around needs tending to. It's all too often I'm not taking as good a care of it as I ought to. I've got plenty of juice, and I had a pretty good breakfast, including a smoothie, an Americano, and an almond croissant, admittedly. That almond croissant was full of sugar, so I gotta probably cut those out. But I'm trying to treat myself nicely, and then sometimes I'm not my own best friend, you know? So we are continuing to film the passing show, rough production values. So we have Clancy Steadwell has also joined. Welcome. Passing show just brings you a little bit of who, what, when, and where. Not really any plot to it, aside from raw documentation for historians of the future, potentially. This way. 33 seconds to get across. Looking down at the Canadian Embassy's rotunda. Back of the National Gallery. This is the Federal Trade Commission. I'm coming up on that. 1514. So the deal is wait here, or should I walk? It's like that car could potentially just make it, but he's going to do it. Now, got the light with me. 44 seconds to cross. I'm try to take a slice off of the distance. Watching the electric bikes. Electric bikes carrying a couple of people. We are fragile creatures, so we have to watch out for ourselves. One fall can transform a person's life, especially at my age. We were earlier looking at the monument I'm coming up upon of General Winfield Scott Hancock, noting he passed away just before his 62nd birthday. So this is not uncommon amongst our forebears to pass away at relatively young, by our standards, ages. If you're still in the game, count yourself lucky. And remember, it's a temp job. The National Archives Museum, David M. Rubenstein Gallery, is commemorating the March for Jobs in August. Directed Rights, a permanent exhibition. Haven't taken that down, folks. We're not trying to erase history here. We're holding the line against anything the current administration might wish to do. So don't be suckered into the rhetoric. Remember, history cannot be erased unless we allow it to be erased. And history, as has been pointed out by others, it is often in the eye of the beholder. But it's hard to deny primary documentation. And that's what I'm filming here. Who, what, when, and where. Washington, D.C., this juncture of August the 19th, 2025. My ongoing commentary. What is past is prologue. I love that on the pediment here, or the foundation. What do they call that? Anyway, what is past is prologue. Or can be, if we're not really careful. You might find that things happen that you would prefer didn't happen because we're not vigilant enough about learning our history, particularly when you have people down there at the United States Capitol who are more beholden to corporate interests than they are to you and me. Corporate interests, though, are in place because of you and me spending our little money wherever we do. So every cent spent is a vote for the kind of world we are co-creating. Those moneyed powers that have bought and paid for our senators and congressmen would not be able to do that if they were not fed by the lifeblood and activity of the people in general. So the people have the power, but we are being told continuously that we are powerless. It ain't necessarily so. That reminds me of a dream I had last night where a friend of mine, former realtor, I know he made one sale of like a building that was like $2 million. Got a $2 million commission on a sale of a building down in Tyson's. But he was talking about how he had found the power to overcome the things that were weighing him down. It may be true. It may not be true. I don't know. I just know how things seem to me. I'm staying away from those folks for the time being. It's 31 days. And yesterday I did lead a meeting of a group of that particular fellowship. And told a little of my story and let them know, how I'm seeing things now and how my practice has evolved. There are a lot of people who go on about, oh, I stopped going to meetings. That's not it. Going is not it. Practicing principles in all my affairs is it. Principles like first things first, easy does it, live and let live. Very simple things. And watching the passing show with a degree of equanimity, but also a degree of vigilance, taking personal responsibility for my actions. And this is what I want to drill in to a little bit. Personal responsibility for my responses to life. In the end, as Viktor Frankl pointed out, in Man's Search for Meaning, everything can be taken from a person. Everything. Except our power to choose our response to what happens. We may not be able to control what happens completely. In fact, mostly we can't. A lot of people spend their lives banging their head against the wall and attempting to do something and to manipulate something in a way that it just can't be manipulated. Waste of time. I've done that. In fact, that's exactly why I changed things. I realized I was doing that thing that it's not polite, but they say you should never try to teach something to someone who A, doesn't want to learn it, and B, is going to resent you for trying to teach it. That's sort of what I'm experiencing anymore in the world. And I have to look at my own part in that, right? It's like G.K. Chesterton responded to the question, "Dear sir, what is wrong with the world today?" from some editorial board that was asking different writers what was the matter with the world. He said, "Dear sir, I am. Corporation for Public Broadcasting is here. Troutman, Pepperman, and Locke located at this spot. So, now you know." It's elevator to the parking. I'm on East Street, and I probably ought to break over and walk down East Street for a ways. They've closed up the Landmark Cinema in recent memory, sadly. And that's one that more lost. Meant to be on Pennsylvania Avenue to make my time. Oh, well, 11 o'clock on the dot. I've got 1 hour from East Street and 8th onwards. Oh, douche. Gotta ride your horn. Had plenty of room. So what else do I want to talk to you all about? That's a fair amount of information already. I don't know. What do you all want to talk about? Looks like somebody said something. David A. Andelman, hey, how are you doing? Where's the National Guard? Yeah, exactly. They're not here, right? So I saw them down south of the Lincoln Memorial. Small set of trucks, maybe a company. That's it. Now, they were down there probably to maintain the peace in case protesters broke out or something, or there's any untoward activity. But all they were doing was standing around getting their roll call. And then I think they were getting their lunch. That was 2 days ago, I think, right after we talked, right? Went out and walked, 92-degree heat. And it was enjoyable, got me out and moving. But the deal is your lens on this, not your personal lens, but one's lens on this, like my lens, is taking in what actually is really happening here and now, here on 10th and East Street Northwest. I'm not in the right area, obviously, for National Guard activity, if there is such. I did see an interesting video of some masked nondescript people huffing and stuffing a guy in unmarked cars. But I went out looking for that yesterday, harrowing the streets as I'm doing, couldn't find it. And I'm a random, right? I'm not actually going to target any particular thing other than where I would ordinarily go, and where my feet lead me, which can be anywhere. But what else do I want to say about that? Where's the National Guard? So you think that there may be some exaggeration in the news media about what's happening here? Do you think maybe there's some sensationalism going on, some yellow journalism perhaps? I don't know, man. Seems to me that that could be the case. Because as usual in DC, I see people coming and going, doing what they do. Most people seem to be pleasant enough. Um, Not really looking for much in terms of pleasantness, that's for sure. But, it is what it is. I don't know. I just know it seems to me we're hired by Ford's Theater. There's been some violence here. Right across the street, of course, the house where Lincoln died. That's still being preserved after being shot in the theater here behind me. A bicycle, jaywalking a little bit. That's about the most crime that I ever see in DC is jaywalking. There's tickets 9:30 a.m. to 4:45 p.m. This little souvenirs of Washington, D.C. Outlaw President Trump. Yeah, I don't know, man. Just know how it seems to me. So let's see what else we got. All I've got is where's the National Guard so far. I'll see a fair number of people have joined to watch the passing show. 9 people besides myself. That's a start. Thing about the network is I have 9 of you who weigh in, pick up something I'm laying down. There's a chance that ripple effect could go out from you to another 8, say. That'd be 72. And let's say 7 are added to that. My math is 504, something like that. 7 to 72. 14, and it's 490. Right? Yeah, it was 504. And then 6 more added to that. It's 24. That's 3,024. The ripple effects go out within the degrees, in other words. And I'm dropping the number of connections each time, when actually the connections, some of you are probably very connected, right? They're big noises in the field of journalism, for instance, in the case of David A. Andelman. And I was so appreciative of him sharing a half hour of his time with me Sunday. That was amazing. After winning the competition between the writers and the artists and heading off to Connecticut. It's a wonderful thing to be a part of this world and the people in it and being able to have conversations. Ooh, opening fall 2025, Barnes & Noble is back. I hope they put a cafe in it. What I'm noticing is Barnes & Noble opens places, but is not putting cafes in, which means I can't sit and read and drink coffee and whatever I want to drink. Fiji water. Got some Fiji water for Len and I the last time we were out. Now I'm trying to track what happened to that because we had a lot of it. Did we drink it all? I don't know. But it's probably in the car. Still, one can hope. As a former Woodward and Walthrop, I am not following my normal course. I am looking for evidence of anything different than business as usual in DC and not really picking up on it. We're at 11th and G Street Northwest. There's a metro stop here, going down into the Metro Center. Now I'm 2 stops. I should probably cut myself some slack and go down into the metro system. So I'm taking you down there. Underground is what it is. Geico advertising up there. That was Government Employee Insurance Corporation, right? Oops, sorry. It's really unsteady. Marissa has joined. Gordon is here. Jenny Blue, Dreamer Dave, David A. Andelman asking where's the National Guard. Lindsay Steadwell, Marisol Munoz, Tina, Gregory Lush, echoes of Tannen, and a private account. So I'm glad to have you all with us. Dan Digest says hello. Okay. Now I've got to get my Metro card out. Hope I have it. Candy. She won here. This is the right one. I'll drive a Metro. I love to see the passing show from different vantage points. Elevator outage at Pentagon City. Just so you know. I should probably ride the Metro more. Maybe I could get out to where the National Guard is. I should actually look. That would be fun. Shady Groove. Well, I'm up at the red line level. That's perfect. Perfect. 2 minutes. That's going to put me in a lot better space. I'll try to keep running this passing show from here. I don't know if my connectivity will keep. Now, this is an interesting thing to watch people on the Metro passing by in their minds. I don't know if you all have seen Far Away So Close, Your Wings of Desire, 2 movies by Wim Wenders, in which angels take in the passing show all the time. They see the world in black and white. When they fall and become human and enter a mortal time stream as opposed to eternal, they just see in color and they understand the light and how it drives us. Es geht an den Licht, Cassio says when he first falls and Far Away So Close and down in the underground. There it goes. Here comes my ride. My ride is here. Folks on the other side going where they're going. All forming patterns. They're like drops in the river. They are drops in the river. Let's not make it a simile. Let's make it a metaphor. What is a metaphor? That's a word salad again. Munching. So I'm going to try to order and continue on a passing show. We'll be quiet about it. I don't want to freak anybody out. Favorite position is at the end of the car. So if you're still with us, just look out the window. You have boarded and are heading through the DuPont Circle, 2 stops up. And it's 11:10, so I'm going to buy myself a fair amount of time to get back to the bunker and prep for Sunny Triple. And we're going to get together. We're going to work through some tunes. We were doing some Tom Waits last time. And I forget what all. But I love the Tom Waits stuff we covered. It's pretty dark. It's particularly looking at the Blood Money and Alice, both Robert Wilson productions, stage productions. And one was they play Wojciech. I think Alice was something different. Really sad, really slow, but beautiful. Something really beautiful about Tom Waits' work. Come on, train. Should be moving already. Otherwise, I decided to hold for that. That is probably the stagger trains. Sitting and waiting. 11:11. So a lot of people are freaked out by seeing 1111 all in a row. I think it's somehow significant. I don't think it is any more significant than 1112, which just became 11:12 Eastern Time. About talking to me, okay, it's fine. Talking away to you. Cancel. Oops. Must have invited David A. I enjoy some co-host. What's going to happen? David, if you ever do feel like you want to be a co-host, just say the word and I can add you in. And that is true for anybody. If you want to co-host my passing shows, if you want to jump on and go live with me and have a conversation everybody can enjoy for the alarmed one, you're welcome. There to go the doors. We'll be moving now and watching. See if we see any other iterations of us on at this station. Thurrock North isn't far enough. The best team. Anybody's between the charts playing volume. 85% player, huh? If it much of a amount being available, showing graphic representation of like the stations, I think that's all we got right now. And that silver line is going the other way onto the Dulles International Airport at this point. Minutes right after the line, lifetime. Here we go into a fair bit worse station. I don't know if you all saw the movie Across the Universe. Our friend Nick worked sound on that. I don't know whatever happened to Nick, but he used to talk about doing a radio show together. You could be reflections, but that's moving. It's a red auto train. She wrote when born. Then she entered the car. He saw this. She paused circle. Start this DuPont circle. Nobody jumping on here. It's pretty quiet. Artificial intelligence, real drug considered results now with AI and automation. So UiPath on tour, April 29, 2025. Global story of strengths of edge. I've got to plug that one. It's hard to keep on bid. It's a slide. It works with Flyers at Case Center back tomorrow morning. 9:30. Forward to that. Take myself up. I feel like it'll be fun to bracket. This is your red font print. And yeah, so word salad, punching has said, our minds search for significance, repetition, I believe, is a comfort of knowing. I don't know. Can you elaborate on that? Because I'm not really following. I often don't. And I want to. I want to be able to follow what you're trying to say. significance. Significance is no, no, everything or nothing. Sort of flummoxed me with that one. Repetition, I believe, is a comfort of knowing that. I know how things seem to me. I've seen patterns, yes. Apophenia is definitely a present danger, which is the recognition of patterns that do not exist. So I have to bear that in mind, that I see things, but they appear to me to be this way or that way. But I need to be open to new information. And I guess that's what I'm doing. I'm soaking up the information. The information is competing for my attention, and attention is a commodity. If I can get your attention, oh, good. Now, I'm feeling a little bit still muddled about it all. I wish I had more space, especially about that's not coming down. I remember I was filming the Passage show. Somebody was really upset that I was like filming. I was like, oh, it's interesting. Maybe they should be. Well, I don't know. Just know how it seems to me. I love the poem that encircles. It's a line from a Walt Whitman. And so it says, it's dry. And I can't really read it because the plywood up beginning. I can see the end of it. I recall the experience, sweet and sad, Walt Whitman in 1865. Starts out, thus in silence, in dreams, projections. Returning, resuming, I thread my way through the hospitals, the hurt and the wounded. I pass by this soothing hand. I sit by the restless all the dark night. Some are so young, some suffer so much. I recall the experience, sweet and sad. Well, what melody? 1865. Threading his way through the hospitals. She spent a long time as a nurse at Confederate hospitals in this area, actually. That was 1865. That was, by my math, 160 years ago. A couple of full lifetimes. People live to 80, which is not all that guaranteed. 80 is a threshold that's tough to reach for a lot of folks. Both my parents reached it. My father went to 91. My mother is now at 86. And yeah, so I think about that a lot. September 13th, we are heading there to see her. September 12th, going to see the premiere of the Downton Abbey's new movie. My wife is a huge fan. The treatment, Franklin's Moving Services. Local and long distance, 301 605 4154. Senior Moving Services, commercial. That's nice. That's the royal treatment you get from Franklin's Moving Services. Well, good. Good to know. Hopefully I'll remember that. Math Learning Center here. Restaurant, pub, and lounge. Japanese dining. Stepchild Herald. There was a place called the Child Herald here years ago, which is very famous. Among the people who liked it, Zorba's Cafe. That's been pretty popular. I've never eaten there, I remember. Mimosa Salon across the way. Psychic readings upstairs at 1623 on the 4th floor. Comfort One Shoes. Phillips collection note. It did a block. It looks like movers there. On. And I've got 11:22. So I did a pretty good amount walking. Thank you. I do. Already a nature conservative supporter. So I do help them support nature. And how's that Joan? God, what's he doing out in this hour? Just heading across. Joan Shapiro, an artist. Her mother was also an artist, survived both the Spanish flu and the pandemic. Lived to like 104, 105, I forget. And Joan's following along too. Just going to head up Connecticut Avenue. It looks like on that side of the street. She lives way up Connecticut. Still walking. That's good to see. Sit there, Osteria. Buildings and people up to different things. Now cross against the light here. Think I can make it. I'm getting mown down. Oncoming traffic. Make sure Cutie Pie is in the right seat. In HTSA, my friend Gary works for them. It's a contractor. Last I checked. Dolcezza. It's like busy. I just, oh my God. I'm easy. I'm joking. Thai chef. We're really spoiled for choice. There's no doubt. Becca's Cafe was Bethesda Bagels for a long time. Sat empty. Before, when I first moved here, it was Johnny Rockets. And I never frequented it. And I regret not doing that. Like Johnny Rockets when I've had him before. I have to go to like Arundel Mills to find one. I'm sure there are others. Actually, I know there's another one downtown, but it's not on my route. Anybody else talking to me? Appreciate these video escapades. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Oh, 1111 is the odometer. Had that going on recently, actually. Passed it on my odometer. The sinner will not hold, Foreign Affairs says. How an order ends. New, untested, and dangerous. Special report on American finance. I run the country and the world. Donald Trump explains his victory and his plan. In the Atlantic, Pope Francis, a strong man in El Salvador. So these are older news blasts. But here's what it is. I guess Joan's walking out. That's a long walk. Just got to go up over the bridge and up towards the zoo. She's very close to Lily's, which also forms part of my story. Very small part, but one that I remember. It's easy to remember if I try. I mean, it's kind of dark. Tuesday. Okay, as long as we got to look at. I've looked at this already earlier this morning when I was on my way to my office hours. Been hard work. For sale, 16,504 square feet, approximately 3 entrances, parking, mixed-use zoning. MichaelRankinDC.com, 2040SStreet.com. Been up for sale for quite some time. Oh, where's Joan? Lost her. Oh, well. I'm waiting to cross. BBC 63. USDOT 594386. Connect. ConnectBBC.com. All right, fans, keep on. Miss June must have stopped off somewhere. Totally lost track of her. Oh well. Lean back, looking. Nope. She might have ducked into one of the stores down there. DCE 0001. The Moldovan ambassador is in. Looks like folks from the Albanian embassy are about as well. Up, up, onward, and inward. I finished taking down the old dead dogwood last night. That the root system even got uprooted, or it rotted off pretty much. Been rotting for a long time. They were pretty noisy about it between about 8 o'clock and 9, but I'm glad they got it done. They deserve a big tip for that. A little bit of sawdust left from the dogwood that used to stand here. I expect there's a rat burrow down there. They usually develop burrows underneath. But yeah, they got it. They sure did. They managed to take down the power lines feeding into the embassy of Moldova in the process. Good for them. All right. Need that. Oh boy. Oh boy. Do I ever. Think I got enough steps in. This has been watered pretty extensively. I think that's coming down from above. It is. They are watering their plants and they end up watering mine. That's a synergy. Yeah. So it goes. They water me, whether I want it or not. Tom Barry Simmons joined. Marwa Assam joined. So we're back in the bunker. None the worse for wear. Documented a good bit of the trajectory in the National Gallery of Art rotunda all the way back home. I better put somewhere where I'll remember where they are. My wife is always on me about that. The library is pretty well intact. And, it's tough living life. It's so tough being incarnate. Most people have a hard time with it at some level or another. Today has been a lower day earlier, but I got myself out and about, put myself in the path of prosperity, feels like. And I'm wearing down my finances a bit. I need to think about how I'm going to make money on this life more than I have. I definitely can do a number of things, take a number of actions. But the main action I've been taking lately is just talking, right? Communicating, making sure that my presence in the stream of life is documented, as it were. That's a bell. That's one of those Tibetan singing bowls that aren't really. And we're in the dark of the kitchen. Light of the microwave is the only thing around. Flashing light there for repelling pests. If that works or not, I don't know. I have my doubts. Put on a little light on the subject. Okay. Ah, my Holly Bowling Wilderness Sessions camp mug. Stainless steel, robust. Used to have a lid left on top of the car. It received a dent, but I still have it. A treasure from the pandemic when Holly Bowling went out to national parks with her husband and her dog. and a Sprinter van, solar panels on the roof, and performed at various remote locations. Definitely check her out on YouTube. The Casco Bay one, she gives me a little shout out for backing her Seeking All That's Still Unsung double LP of Grateful Dead hits, reimagined for the grand piano. And she is an artist of particular talents. I'm going to be seeing her September 20th and 21st, if all goes well, at the Baygrass Festival, where she is an artist at large. But in the meantime, I'm going to be drinking my coffee from the mug that I bought as part of the swag from the Wilderness Sessions. Got the t-shirt, got the mug, got the postcards from each location. And yeah, I'm just so lucky. You're so lucky to have run across her on August 1st, 2017, the days between. I was not able to see the August 2nd performance because John Kay had a show of the DC Mystery Cats at Gypsy Sally's that night. He had told me about on the stairs of the Yardmore some weeks before. I like that guy. I try to stay out of, line of sight a lot, but, I really appreciate his work. And I try to amplify it when I can. So I'm just recently, the days between, opening for the Englishtown project. That was nice. I've got a situation here. I've got to sit down my coffee and open the door. And there it is, the bunker. We're not going to film the bunker right now. We're going to go up and turn off the lamp, though, by my bedside. It's a little messed up. But nevertheless, you'll notice that I've got the Barnes & Noble College Outline Series History of Music by the bedside, along with a little copy of the big book that was given to me on September the 15th. September the 14th. September the 14th, I think, actually, 1997. I still have it. So, good for me. Dark in here now, relatively. I'm going to wrap up the passing show and thank all of you, 15 individuals, for stopping by and being a part of my life. And I hope to continue being a part of yours. We're all in this together. Every cent spent is a vote for the kind of world we are co-creating. Be mindful of that. Do it yourself if you can. Do it for others. Think about being a paid subscriber to Harrowings. It could use the help. Definitely. It would be a lot to me, and I will definitely repay it if at all possible. I am a paid subscriber of a number of different Substacks. I just joined another one recently. We'll be having him on. Is it tomorrow night? I think so. Tomorrow night at 7:30, we're going to have Carlo. I've forgotten his name. It'll come back to me. It's scheduled. Probably notifications have been pushed out. Nick Strutinsky, thanks for joining. Tom Barry Simmons, Marwa Essam. Definitely, I really appreciate word salad-ing, munching, appreciating me and actually saying some things. Same with earlier David A. Endelman, who asked, "Where's the National Guard?" in all caps. Don't know and don't care much where the National Guard is, but I do think that we all need to be vigilant about the changes that are being made in our society and how they're being made, and keep yourselves informed. Don't listen to just one voice. Listen to many different voices and make up your own mind. Use your critical thinking facilities or faculties. Hopefully you have them. Don't believe everything you hear. If it's printed as suspect, people always are looking to try to steer us to believe certain ways. And what's really important is that we gravitate towards love and kindness, compassion and cooperation, not towards violence and towards demonizing others. That's one of the things that's perpetuating the kind of things that you're seeing in the press these days. So Substack is the new press. Let your voice be heard. And with that, ending this particular Video. Blast. End live video. Goodbye.